This is a $19 million per year brand that I'm going to show you in this video. And the reason I'm showing you this PDP page is to help you understand that sometimes you have to over-educate the consumer in order to reach higher conversion rate. Now, this is not true in all cases. So I'm going to share in this video what are some of the things that you can add onto your product pages in order to hit 3, 4, 5% conversion on a monthly basis, and what is over-educating the consumer and how to actually build a really unique customer journey from top to bottom of what the product is, why a customer should buy it, and what the process looks like when it comes to buying a high ticket product. Now, if you're in low ticket, high ticket, doesn't really matter. It's all about setting up a proper flow on your product pages. If you're stuck between 1 or 2% conversion rate, you want to take your stores to the next level, watch this video all the way to the very end. If you don't know me, my name is Daniel. I've been doing CRO for the last 12 years when it comes to Shopify and WooCommerce. Let's jump right into it. All right, guys, so this is a $18 to $19 million per year brand. And the reason I'm showing you this specific customer journey is to help you understand that sometimes over-educating a consumer is one of the most important things, but it depends on the type of product you are selling. So if you're in low ticket products, or like you're selling product that costs anywhere from like $50 to $150, $200, it can still work for you. Some of the pieces that I'm going to show you in this video are extremely helpful, and why over-educating works big time in high ticket space. So first thing first, this is an espresso machine, and what these guys are selling is, of course, like a machine with accessories. This is the only thing this brand sells, and sometimes these guys sell coffee pot as well, but I'm not going to go into too much specific. I want to stick with the very basic stuff that these guys are using in order to over educate the consumer. So for example, if I am coming here as a consumer, this is the first thing I see. I see a machine, it's an espresso machine, and mostly people that will be coming onto this page are gonna be people that are interested in purchasing like an espresso machine for their business or their home, or people like coffee in general, so they wanna purchase a machine. Now, we need to make sure that as a brand, we educate the consumer in a way where they're like, okay, I'm ready to purchase this machine for $1,800, okay? Espresso machines in the marketplace, if you go on Amazon, you can buy a good brand for like $500-$600, maybe $700-$800. Why this is different, okay? And why these guys are charging $1,800? We have to justify the pricing, because sometimes, like, when you justify the pricing, it's easier for a consumer to say, you know what, this machine that I'm purchasing from Amazon doesn't have all these features. This machine does. So, you know, I'd rather spend like $1,800 and just buy something that I can have for a long term. Okay, so that's basically what it is. Now, anyways, these are just some of the pointers that what the product offers. Not going to go into very specific, but if you look at the buy box area, it's very simple, plain. There's not much going on. It's a section where it says like add top accessories, just a little bit of accordion. So not much going on into the buy box area, but they're offering a free shipping. They're offering a 2-year warranty, 30-day home trial, trusted by 10,000 users. Of course, a lot of brands talk about like users, but in reality it's 326 reviews. But anyways, users can be just like buyers, lifetime buyers of the brand, so there's nothing wrong about it by saying it. So shipping, warranty, not sure, we're here to help you. This is their toll-free number. This is their email where you can actually email them and ask them questions. Now, this is very common in high ticket space when it comes to adding a toll-free number, adding an email address, or scheduling a call with the representative to actually make a decision. So it's really, really important. The next thing is obviously infographic pictures that these guys have, where they're just like talking about like, hey, this is what the product is, this is what the product do, okay? So it's just like educating the consumer around like, hey, this is what the product do. So a lot of people, when they are coming on a mobile screen, they drag through pictures a lot. And we test out with a tool called Intelligence. We saw the study that a lot of people just like scroll through the pictures. They don't go much bottom at the page, so they stick to the top. So infographic pictures makes a big difference. Now, a technical product like this, where you have like multiple colors, you have a big screen on the top of the product as well, you need to make sure that, okay, if I am buying an espresso machine, I need to make sure that this is worth my time, right? So this is where over educating a consumer is really, really important. So espresso at home, no trade-offs. and then they have a picture of the actual product. Commercial power, user-friendly, compact designs. When it comes to like the picture itself, they did a really good job in just using clean pictures. If I talk about like the comparison section, let me actually go back up all the way and actually show you like the full customer journey of these guys, what they have. So it'll help you understand like, okay, what the product is. Commercial power made for home. And this is where when it comes to like the actual pump properties of the actual product. Again, I'm not going to go into much specific, but pump is basically what makes a coffee thick or like sloppy. I don't know what other words to use for it. But as you can see right here in the video, it just shows like, hey, this is a better cream, a really thick cream with Meraki compared to like other specific pumps from other brands. Okay, and they're just like educating you like, okay, this is basically what it is. They have a dual boiler system. Again, this is like a dual boiler system when it comes to just like heating the product itself. Now you got to understand, most consumers don't care about this stuff, but if your consumer is B2C and B2B, then these things matters. Some people are very technical of what they purchase when it comes to machines like this. So again, if you're in the low ticket space, you need to think about like, does this information important? Is this important to put in, or am I just taking a real estate from my page? So you need to make sure that we are not throwing just random stuff onto the PDP pages just to fill out that empty space. You need to make sure that it makes sense. All right, I would say like this does make sense for some people, but if this section doesn't exist, I wouldn't care. Grinding position. Now, this is one of the most important thing. A lot of coffee lovers, they want to have like a machine, and you probably saw it on TikTok, Instagram too, where people use these grinders to make coffees, their morning coffees. And there's a lot of influencers in this space that their channels is around making coffee. Okay, so like the grinder grading is important, and of course like it's just a video of like how the grinder is working, and then they have some little information around like what the product do. Dual storage power, again, they're talking about like, hey, this is a dual storage shower screen basically when it comes to like pouring the water for the coffee. Effortless at home, I think this is extremely important. When it comes to like an espresso machine, a lot of people want to have like a machine that it doesn't require a lot of like technical knowledge, but it's still interactive. It's 2026, so we can still educate the consumer around like, hey, this is what the product is. But if the video doesn't make no sense, you just shouldn't have it. All right, we make a lot of 3D motion graphic videos, and the common problem I see in the industry is just like you're throwing random videos that doesn't educate the consumer much. But again, this is a small video. It's like a 10-second video, so it doesn't hurt. Consistent result powered by grammatic scales. Now this is where Meraki and other big competitors comes in, where in Meraki you can actually brew it by the weight, and others you need a manual monitoring needed. That is true. I use machines before when it comes to espresso. That is true. This is a very big problem. We had a machine in the house, and this was a machine that you actually have to like manually scale everything, and you have to stop it at the right time. But Meraki solves that problem because they have this digital scale that basically tracks everything by weight, and then it automatically stops. So that's good. Effortless brewing guided by smart touchscreen. They're educating around like, hey, the touch screen is smart. When the temperature hits, it automatically stops. So that is good. Compact design, again, they're talking about like, hey, this is what a lot of people might have questions like, hey, how big is this thing, right? So they're just measuring the actual of like how tall and how wide this specific machine is. Again, then they're talking about like, hey, what are some of the different modes the actual product has. So when I said like in the beginning of this video that you have to over-educate, this is what over-education is. Like you keep talking about the product and you keep talking about like very small things that does make a big difference. And as a consumer, if I'm coming on this page and I'm looking at it, I need to make sure like, okay, you know, what type of different modes that the product have, right? So I might have that question, so it answers that. A lot of people might not see it. A lot of people see it, so we wouldn't know until we test it out. So it has manual grinding, it has a quick menu, preheat timer, and then they have a lot of features within the app. So they're visually showing. Then they have an add-on section. That is good. Why you should purchase from Meraki. They have the visual scale of like why you should buy from Meraki compared to like anybody else in the marketplace. So that is good. Of course, this is just like a UGC section of like how people are using the actual product. Again, social proofing. We always talk about it, moment-weighted better with Meraki. Now these guys are getting into more social proofing, lifestyle, people just using the actual product. They have an official videos from big YouTubers that they posted the product for. Again, a lot of time these big brands hire these UGC creators to actually create these videos. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody does it. Why not you? And some of the last pieces is just like, what is the accessories that comes with the actual product? What's inside the box? Again, the visual diagram of the actual product by numbering. So actually they put it right here of like, what are some of the accessories? So this is what comes in the box. Then they're going more in specs, FAQs, and then you have a footer too. Now the thing is, like when it comes to specs, more technical stuff of what the product is, it's always better to actually put that into the end of the video. So that is good. FAQs, a couple questions that people might have. So we need to answer those in the FAQ section. And if you see, like, this is a really, really, really long page. And I kept it very small and I kept it fast to actually help you understand that sometimes our education does help when it comes to high ticket product. And even if you're in the low ticket product, you could still test it out. You wouldn't know until you actually start split testing and see like what's working, what's not. If you're stuck between 1 or 2% conversion, you want to take your store to the next level, you can contact me. My calendar link is right below this video. Schedule a free call. Let's talk about your brand. Of course, every brand has to be studied based on the industry and what information is going to be vital for your brand in order to hit 4, 5, 6% conversion on a monthly basis. It's doable, but market research is extremely important. That's why we offer like a free audit. So contact me. My calendar link is right below this video. Schedule a call. Let's talk about it. All right. I'll see you next time. Bye.